There's a kind of feminine energy that doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't chase. It doesn't prove. Yet men feel it instantly, in their body before their mind can explain it. This is not sweetness. This is not innocence. This is not loud sexuality or desperate seduction. This is dark feminine energy. Carl Jung believed that men are unconsciously drawn to women who activate their inner world, not just desire, but fear, fascination, longing, and transformation. When a woman carries dark feminine energy, she doesn't just attract men, she haunts them. Men think about her when she's gone. They replay her voice. They remember her eyes. They feel unsettled, aroused, curious, challenged, without knowing why. Because she touches something deeper than lust. She awakens the anima, the unconscious feminine image inside every man. This energy is dangerous because it bypasses logic. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't explain itself. It pulls men inward, toward desire, obsession, self-reflection, and vulnerability. A man may feel powerful around many women, but around a dark feminine woman, he feels exposed. She doesn't need to show her body to feel erotic. She doesn't need to chase attention to be wanted. Her sexuality lives in her presence, her stillness, her eyes, her restraint. Men sense that she cannot be controlled, and what cannot be controlled becomes irresistible. This video reveals why dark feminine energy is so sexually magnetic, what signs men unconsciously respond to, and why Jung warned that this energy can dominate the masculine psyche if misunderstood. Stay until the end, because the final truth explains why men fall hardest for the woman they cannot fully possess. Men don't become addicted to dark feminine energy because of sex alone. They become addicted because this energy penetrates their psyche. Carl Jung explained that inside every man lives the anima, the unconscious feminine image that shapes his attraction, fantasies, emotional hunger, and desire for completion. When a woman embodies dark feminine energy, she does not just stimulate his body, she activates his anima, and once activated, it does not easily let go. Around her, a man feels desire mixed with tension, arousal mixed with vulnerability, confidence mixed with insecurity, control mixed with surrender. This is why her presence feels intoxicating. She does not overgive affection. She does not over-explain herself. She does not emotionally chase. Her restraint becomes erotic. Her silence becomes seductive. Her unpredictability becomes addictive. Men are biologically wired to pursue what feels just out of reach. But the dark feminine woman is not playing games. She is genuinely unattached to validation, and this independence triggers something primal. The masculine instinct to pursue, protect, prove, and conquer awakens without her asking. She allows desire to build. She lets tension breathe. She doesn't collapse intimacy into familiarity. And because she feels emotionally self-contained, a man senses that being chosen by her would mean something. Her attention feels earned, not available. Her sexuality feels intentional, not cheap. Her presence feels dangerous because it threatens his sense of control. Jung warned that men often confuse this feeling with love. In truth, it is psychological activation. She awakens his deeper self, the part of him that longs for intensity, mystery, and meaning. This is why men think about her late at night, why they replay conversations, why they feel restless after seeing her, why they crave her approval without understanding why. She doesn't seduce with effort, she seduces with containment. And the more she remains grounded in herself, the deeper his obsession grows. This is not manipulation. This is dark feminine polarity. There is nothing more sexually unsettling to a man than a woman who does not rush to explain herself. Silence, when carried by the dark feminine, becomes erotic, not empty silence, but charged silence. Men are used to noise, talking, explaining, proving, performing. But when a woman sits comfortably in silence, she creates a vacuum, and the masculine psyche rushes to fill it. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He wrote that what remains undefined in the psyche becomes a container for fantasy. When a woman does not immediately reveal her thoughts, emotions, or intentions, a man's unconscious begins projecting meaning onto her. Desire grows not from what is shown, but from what is withheld. Her quiet presence invites curiosity. Her pauses feel intimate. Her restraint feels sexual. She doesn't overreact. She doesn't overtext. She doesn't overshare. And because of this, men lean in. They watch her body language. They study her expressions. They imagine what she's thinking. They wonder what she wants. They crave access to her inner world. Silence gives her dominance without force. When she listens instead of speaks, the man reveals himself. When she holds eye contact without smiling too quickly, tension builds. When she responds slowly, deliberately, the nervous system activates. This is not manipulation. This is polarity. A man feels her control without her ever claiming it. He senses that she is not trying to be chosen. She is deciding. Her silence communicates confidence. Her calm communicates self-possession. Her stillness communicates sexual authority. And the most erotic part? She is not silent because she lacks words. She is silent because she does not need them. Men feel this instinctively. They sense that intimacy with her would be deep, intense, consuming. They sense that she would not give herself easily. They sense that being desired by her would feel earned. In a world of loud sexuality, quiet erotic power becomes irresistible. This is why men remember her long after she leaves, why her silence echoes louder than other women's voices, why her absence feels heavier than someone else's presence. Dark feminine silence does not disappear. It lingers. Beauty catches a man's eyes, but emotional depth captures his nervous system. A woman with dark feminine energy does not rely on appearance alone. Her power lives beneath the surface, in her emotional gravity, her presence, her ability to feel without losing control. Jung believed that men are unconsciously drawn to women who embody emotional intensity without chaos. This balance creates erotic tension far stronger than physical perfection. When a woman feels deeply but does not collapse into emotion, men sense danger and safety at the same time, and that combination is intoxicating. She doesn't perform happiness. She doesn't hide sadness. She doesn't dramatize pain. She allows emotion to exist inside her body, calm, controlled, alive. This tells the masculine psyche something powerful. She can handle depth. A man senses that intimacy with her would not be shallow. He senses that sex with her would be emotional, consuming, unforgettable. He senses that she would see him, not just his strength, but his wounds, and that terrifies him, while pulling him closer. Most women are taught to soften their emotions, to remain easy and pleasant. The dark feminine woman does the opposite. She allows her emotional depth to exist unapologetically, and that honesty becomes erotic. Her sadness feels poetic, her intensity feels sensual, her calm feels dominant, her vulnerability feels sacred. Men feel this immediately. They lean in, they open up, they feel exposed, because emotional depth activates the anima, the part of a man that longs for connection beyond surface pleasure. This is why men fall hardest for women who can sit with silence, emotion, and truth without flinching. She does not distract from feeling, she invites it. And once a man experiences this depth, superficial attraction loses its power. He doesn't just want her body, he wants access to her inner world. He wants to be chosen by someone who feels real. Dark feminine emotional depth is not soft. It is dangerously intimate. Nothing unsettles a man more than a woman who feels deeply, yet remains emotionally self-contained. This is where dark feminine energy becomes irresistibly sexual. Carl Jung understood that the masculine psyche is drawn to women who embody emotional intensity without emotional chaos. When a woman feels desire, curiosity, attraction, and passion, but does not lose herself inside those feelings, she becomes magnetic. Her control is not cold, it is intentional, and intention is erotic. She does not react impulsively. She does not seek reassurance. She does not collapse into emotional exposure too quickly. Instead, she allows feelings to move within her, not control her. This creates tension. A man senses that her desire is real, but not guaranteed. He senses her emotions are alive, but not dependent. He senses that intimacy with her would be powerful, but not easy. And this awakens the masculine instinct to pursue. Men are biologically and psychologically wired to respond to emotional regulation. When a woman can feel attraction without immediately giving access, her nervous system communicates dominance. She is not withholding as a tactic, she simply does not leak her energy. Her calm during attraction becomes seductive. Her restraint during intimacy becomes intoxicating. Her composure during desire becomes unforgettable. This is why men often say, "I don't know why she affects me so much." Because what he feels is not lust alone, it is polarity. Her emotional self-control signals that she is choosing, not hoping, that she is present, not needy, that she is open but not available to everyone. This creates erotic uncertainty. A man wonders, does she want me? What would it take to be chosen by her? What would intimacy with her feel like? And the fantasy grows stronger precisely because she does not rush it. Dark feminine energy is not aggressive sexuality, it is controlled intensity. She lets desire breathe, she lets anticipation stretch, she allows attraction to deepen rather than discharge. This is why men crave her presence long after a moment ends, why her restraint feels more erotic than overt seduction, why her emotional control feels more powerful than emotional display. She does not chase desire, she contains it, and containment is one of the most sexually dominant traits a woman can possess. Men do not crave emotional distance, they crave emotional depth that is not freely given. This is where many misunderstand dark feminine energy. Emotional unavailability does not mean indifference, it means selectivity. It means a woman who does not emotionally open herself to everyone simply because they desire her. Carl Jung would say this creates psychological polarity, a tension between longing and restraint that intensifies attraction. A dark feminine woman is emotionally present, but not immediately accessible. She listens, but she does not over-invest. She connects, but she does not attach too quickly. She feels, but she does not surrender her inner world without discernment. This balance is intoxicating. To a man, she feels warm, but not consumable, inviting, but not predictable, available, but not owned. Her emotional boundaries communicate value without words. They say, my attention is meaningful, my intimacy is intentional, my energy is not for everyone. And men respond instinctively to this. The masculine psyche becomes alert around a woman like this. He wants to earn her trust. He wants to unlock her layers. He wants to be the one she chooses, not the one she settles for. Jung warned that when a woman is too emotionally available, the anima becomes overstimulated and loses tension. Desire collapses into familiarity. But when a woman holds her emotional center firmly, desire deepens rather than dissolve. Her mystery is not a tactic. It is a natural result of self-respect. She does not explain herself excessively. She does not rush emotional intimacy. She does not fill silence with reassurance. And this restraint feels erotic because it implies depth beneath the surface. Men sense that knowing her would take time, that intimacy with her would be layered, that connection with her would feel earned. She is not cold, she is contained, and containment signals power. This is why men feel unsettled around her, in the best way. They cannot read her easily, they cannot control the pace, they cannot predict her emotional availability, and so desire sharpens. Dark feminine energy does not withhold love, it protects it, and what is protected becomes valuable. What is valuable becomes desired. What is desired becomes unforgettable. A man does not feel masculine because a woman submits to him. He feels masculine when a woman is deeply feminine in her power. This is the essence of sexual polarity, the force that turns attraction into obsession. Carl Jung explained that polarity exists when opposites meet without trying to dominate each other. The dark feminine woman does not compete with masculine energy. She anchors into her own, and this anchoring awakens something primal in men. Around her, a man feels more alert, more grounded, more present in his body, because her energy invites him into his masculinity without demanding it. She is sensual without trying to impress, confident without needing validation, soft without being weak, intense without being chaotic. This balance sends a powerful signal to the masculine psyche. Here is a woman who is complete within herself. And when a woman is complete, a man does not feel drained, he feels activated. Her presence challenges him to rise, not through pressure, but through contrast. She does not chase him, and so he steps forward. She does not collapse into him, and so he stands taller. She does not seek his approval, and so his desire sharpens. Men feel this immediately. Their posture shifts, their voice lowers, their attention narrows. This is polarity at work. The dark feminine woman creates space, and space invites pursuit. She holds her center, and that steadiness grounds the masculine. She expresses sensuality without desperation, and that confidence amplifies attraction. Jung warned that when polarity disappears, desire fades, but when polarity is alive, desire intensifies with time. This is why men feel more alive around her, more sexual, more driven, more connected to their instincts. She does not overpower the masculine, she draws it out. Her femininity is not passive, it is magnetic, and magnetism does not force, it pulls. A man around her does not feel needed, he feels chosen, and nothing strengthens masculine desire more than being chosen by a woman who does not need him to complete herself. This is why her presence feels intoxicating, why intimacy with her feels charged, why men crave her energy long after contact ends. Dark feminine polarity does not exhaust men, it awakens them. Nothing fuels male obsession like mystery, not secrecy for attention, not distance as a tactic, but depth that cannot be fully decoded. Carl Jung believed that the psyche is irresistibly drawn toward what remains unfinished, unclear, and symbolic. When a woman embodies dark feminine energy, she does not present herself as fully known. She allows layers, and those layers become erotic. She does not tell her whole story at once. She does not explain every emotion. She does not reveal every desire. And because of this, a man's imagination activates. His mind fills the gaps, his curiosity sharpens, his desire deepens. Mystery is not about hiding, it is about not collapsing complexity into simplicity. The dark feminine woman lets men wonder what she's thinking, what she feels beneath calm, what she desires beneath restraint. And the masculine psyche does not want answers, it wants access. Her mystery invites pursuit because it promises depth. Her unpredictability excites because it resists control. Her calm conceals intensity, and intensity is erotic. Men obsess not because she is confusing, but because she is self-contained. She does not chase reassurance. She does not over-explain. She does not rush to be understood. This creates erotic tension. A man senses that knowing her would take time, that intimacy with her would be layered, that being close to her would require presence, patience, and courage. Jung warned that when mystery disappears, projection collapses and desire fades. But when mystery remains alive, desire feeds on imagination. The man imagines her in silence. He imagines her touch. He imagines her gaze. He imagines intimacy that feels deeper than sex. Her mystery feels dangerous because it threatens certainty, and certainty kills desire. She allows men to approach, but not to possess. She invites closeness, but not consumption. And this is why men replay moments with her, why they overthink interactions, why they crave her attention even when she is absent. Dark feminine energy does not explain herself into being desired. She exists, and desire follows. Mystery does not confuse men, it ensnares them. Men do not become possessive because a woman demands commitment. They become possessive when they sense value they could lose. Dark feminine energy triggers this instinct quietly. Carl Jung explained that when the anima is activated, a man's unconscious responds with protection, vigilance, and desire for exclusivity. The dark feminine woman does not request possession, she elicits it. Her presence signals rarity, and rarity awakens guarding instincts. She does not cling, she does not chase, she does not mark territory, yet men feel it anyway. They notice other men noticing her. They become alert when she receives attention. They feel a subtle tightening when she is admired, not because she flirts, but because she exists powerfully. Her independence suggests she could leave. Her self-containment suggests she cannot be owned easily. Her confidence suggests she chooses, not settles. This awakens possessiveness without coercion. A man thinks, if I don't step up, someone else will. If I don't protect this connection, I could lose it. If I don't claim her, she may walk away. Jung warned that men often confuse this with jealousy. In truth, it is activated attachment, a response to value combined with uncertainty. The dark feminine woman does not reassure possessiveness away. She does not provoke it either. She remains grounded. Her calm intensifies the effect. Her neutrality sharpens desire. Her boundaries signal that access is earned. Men feel compelled to define the relationship, to secure presence, to protect connection. Because she does not revolve around them, they begin to orbit her. This is not manipulation, it is polarity responding to value. Her energy communicates, I am whole, I am desired, I am not afraid to walk away. And nothing awakens masculine possessiveness faster than a woman who could leave without collapsing. She does not threaten loss, she embodies choice, and choice is intoxicating. Men do not feel controlled by her, they feel activated. They want to be the one she chooses, they want to secure her attention, they want to protect what feels rare. Dark feminine energy does not ask to be claimed, it makes men want to claim. Nothing intensifies male desire more than a woman who does not need to be desired. This is one of the darkest, most misunderstood aspects of feminine power. Detachment is not coldness, it is not indifference, it is self-sufficiency. And Jung understood that self-sufficiency in the feminine psyche creates enormous sexual polarity. A dark feminine woman enjoys attention, but she does not depend on it. She welcomes desire, but she is not fueled by it. She connects, but she does not cling. This subtle detachment unsettles men. Because the masculine psyche is wired to pursue what does not chase back, when a woman is emotionally complete within herself, she removes pressure from interaction. And without pressure, desire becomes sharper, cleaner, more instinctual. Men sense that her happiness does not rise or fall with their approval. They sense that she would be fine without them, and paradoxically, this makes them want to be chosen by her even more. Jung warned that neediness collapses polarity, but detachment restores it. The dark feminine woman does not beg to be wanted. She allows attraction to come to her, and then she decides. Her detachment is seductive because it signals abundance. It tells the masculine psyche, I am fulfilled, I am grounded, I am not afraid of loss. This triggers a deep instinct. Men feel relaxed yet alert around her. They feel free but also challenged. They feel invited but not guaranteed. Because she does not attach prematurely, men step forward. Because she does not fear abandonment, men feel compelled to stay. Because she does not demand validation, validation flows toward her. Her calm creates safety. Her independence creates desire. This is why men feel addicted to her presence, not because she needs them, but because she doesn't. Detachment does not mean emotional distance. It means emotional sovereignty. She chooses connection from fullness, not lack. She desires from strength, not insecurity. She gives attention without surrendering her center. And that center, that grounded, self-contained energy, is deeply erotic. Dark feminine detachment is not withdrawal. It is control without force. And nothing makes a man crave a woman more than knowing she could walk away and remain whole. There is a look that stops a man mid-thought. Not flirtation, not invitation, but recognition. The dark feminine gaze does not ask for approval, it claims presence. Carl Jung wrote that the eyes are the most direct gateway to the unconscious. When a woman holds eye contact calmly, without rushing, without smiling too quickly, she creates psychological intimacy before physical intimacy ever begins. Her gaze is slow, grounded, unapologetic. She does not look away first. She does not seek reassurance in reaction. She allows the moment to stretch. And in that stretch, tension builds. A man feels seen, not evaluated, revealed. Her eyes do not consume him, they invite him inward. They suggest depth. They suggest confidence. They suggest that intimacy with her would not be shallow. This gaze does not flirt loudly. It waits. And waiting is erotic. Men feel their nervous system activate, heart rate shifts, posture changes, voice lowers. Because eye contact bypasses words, it bypasses performance, it speaks directly to instinct. The dark feminine gaze communicates, I am present, I am aware, I am not impressed easily. This makes men lean in. When she breaks eye contact deliberately, slowly, it leaves an imprint, a lingering sensation, a question. What was that? What does she see? What would it feel like to be closer? Jung warned that prolonged eye contact activates projection. The man begins filling in meaning. He imagines her thoughts, her desire, her intensity, her sexuality, and imagination is far more powerful than exposure. She does not stare aggressively. She does not flirt nervously. She holds. And holding creates dominance without force. This is why men remember her eyes more than her body, why her gaze replays in memory, why a single look can feel more intimate than touch. The dark feminine gaze does not chase, it selects, and being selected, without words, is one of the most seductive experiences a man can feel. Nothing disarms a man faster than a woman who is comfortable with her own desire, not desperate, not hungry, not performative, but aware. Carl Jung believed repression distorts desire, while integration makes it powerful. A dark feminine woman does not deny her sensuality, nor does she broadcast it. She allows it to exist naturally in her body, calm, grounded, unapologetic, and this comfort becomes erotic. She is not embarrassed by attraction. She does not shrink when desire appears. She does not overcompensate with innocence or aggression. She owns her wanting without letting it own her. This balance tells the masculine psyche something rare. She is safe with intensity. Men sense that intimacy with her would be confident, slow, intentional, that she would choose desire, not surrender to it, that being wanted by her would feel intentional. Erotic confidence is not loud, it is felt, and the dark feminine woman feels like permission to want, to desire, to be present. That permission is intoxicating. Nothing reveals true attraction faster than a woman who can leave without breaking. This is where dark feminine energy reaches its most dangerous form. Not anger, not jealousy, not confrontation, but choice. Carl Jung understood that attachment intensifies when loss becomes possible, When a woman remains centered in herself, emotionally, psychologically, sensually, a man senses that she is not dependent on his presence to feel whole, and this realization changes everything. She does not threaten to leave. She does not manipulate with distance. She simply knows she can walk away, and men feel it. They sense that her affection is voluntary, that her presence is intentional, that her desire is not guaranteed. This creates gravity. A man becomes more attentive, more invested, more protective, more emotionally present, because what can leave must be valued. Jung warned that when a woman merges her identity with a relationship, polarity dissolves. But when she remains individuated, whole within herself, polarity sharpens, desire becomes focused, attachment deepens, respect grows. The dark feminine woman does not abandon easily, but she will not abandon herself to stay, and that self-respect is erotic. Men feel it in the way she holds silence during conflict, in the way she does not over-explain her boundaries, in the way she chooses calm over chaos, in the way she remains composed even when emotionally stirred. Her composure communicates power. She is not cold, she is sovereign. This sovereignty activates the masculine instinct to commit, not out of fear, but out of recognition. Recognition that intimacy with her is a privilege, not a right. Men fall hardest for her because she does not cling to possibility, she embodies it. She does not ask to be chosen, she allows herself to choose. And once a man realizes this, once he understands that her presence is optional, desire transforms into devotion. Not because she demands it, but because her absence would be felt deeply. Dark feminine energy does not trap men, it liberates them to choose consciously, and conscious choice feels powerful. This is why men remember the woman who could walk away, why her memory lingers, why her presence feels significant, because she was never trying to be kept, she was simply being herself. The same energy that pulls men toward the dark feminine also makes them hesitate. Desire draws them in, fear holds them back. Carl Jung warned that when the anima is activated too deeply, it confronts a man with his shadow, his insecurity, his loss of control, his emotional vulnerability. The dark feminine woman does not just awaken attraction, she awakens self-exposure. Men sense that loving her would require honesty, presence, depth, transformation, and transformation is terrifying. She does not allow surface connection to feel satisfying. She does not reward emotional avoidance. She does not soften herself to protect fragile egos. Her presence asks a silent question: are you willing to meet yourself here? Many men desire her intensely, but hesitate to commit. Not because she is unlovable, but because she is unavoidable. Around her, distractions lose power, pretenses collapse, defenses weaken. She sees through performance, she feels incongruence, she notices when words don't match energy. This makes men feel naked, psychologically, emotionally, sensually. Jung wrote that the shadow resists exposure, and so some men pull away, rationalize, or retreat into safety. They want her intensity without the responsibility it demands. They want her sensuality without the self-reflection it triggers. The dark feminine woman does not chase these men. She lets them go. Because she knows the truth, desire without depth is hollow. The men who fear her the most are often the ones who desire her the deepest. They feel that loving her would mean changing, and change threatens the ego. But for the man who is ready, she becomes the most profound connection of his life, not because she completes him, but because she reveals him. Her shadow is not cruelty, it is truth. And truth, when faced, is either liberating or unbearable. This is why some men run, and why the ones who stay never forget her. True dark feminine power does not peak in seduction, it settles into mastery. This is the moment Jung would call individuation, when a woman integrates desire, shadow, confidence, restraint, and intuition into a single grounded presence. She no longer tries to attract. She no longer performs mystery. She no longer manages desire. She inhabits herself, and that is when attraction becomes inevitable. Men feel it immediately, not urgency, gravity, not hunger, pull, not excitement, depth. Her sexuality is no longer something she uses, it is something she radiates. She moves slowly because she owns time. She speaks calmly because she trusts silence. She desires consciously because she is not driven by lack. This is mastery. Jung warned that when feminine power is unconscious, it overwhelms both the woman and those drawn to her. But when it is conscious, integrated, it becomes magnetic without destruction. She does not burn men, she awakens them. Her presence communicates without words. I know who I am. I am not afraid of desire. I am not ruled by it either. Men feel safe, yet challenged, desired, yet not entitled, seen, yet not consumed. This creates devotion rather than obsession. She chooses when to open, she chooses when to close, she chooses when to walk away, she chooses when to stay. And because she chooses herself first, every connection becomes intentional. The final truth is this: dark feminine energy is not about being sexy. It is about being so grounded in yourself that desire orbits you. Men are not drawn to her body alone. They are drawn to her center. Her stillness becomes erotic. Her restraint becomes intoxicating. Her confidence becomes unforgettable. She no longer asks to be wanted. She allows desire to meet her where she stands. This is the woman men remember long after pleasure fades, the woman whose presence lingers, the woman whose absence is felt, not because she tried to be irresistible, but because she became whole. And wholeness is the most seductive force there is.